to go from a third world country to a first world country, you need an advanced economic structure. A third world country, the biggest part of the economy is living off the land, farming. America, the United States of America, was a third world country a little over 100 years ago when its main economic activity was farming, growing crops from the land, which has a small profit margin, if any, and depending on the weather, you could not even make anything. And then, the exchange of money for the crops. What America did to develop its economic structure and how it partly became the world dominant superpower was to structure the Federal Reserve, print money, okay, and develop an economic system where innovation is rewarded rather than just agricultural farmland production. So, as an example, in modern society, Tesla, Elon Musk, Apple Computers, these corporations are rewarded in the economic structure by innovating products that help society and that you can trade and advance civilization. And these companies are allowed to issue stock and get money. They're also have got government subsidies in order to grow and sustain themselves. Because overall, this advances humanity and makes you dominant. And so other countries have learned, that you can't just live off farmland. That's not an answer for developing your country and being an advanced society. You need innovation. You need capital markets. You need a federal banking system. You need all these structures in addition to military force, in addition to diplomacy. There's many gray lines, and there's probably are powers to be behind all these countries. Remember, when there's wars, many times I believe there's powers to be because a Chinese, a Russian, Afghanistan, someone from Israel, someone from America, someone from Canada, the vast regular people living in these lands are at the basic human level the same. The powers to be, depending on who they are, can manipulate the masses in order to create chaos. Certainly, there's times of injustices. But as an example, like last year when the United States of America, they had riots and protesting for George Floyd and other issues. Other countries could look at that and say, look, your citizens don't like your government. But when we see other countries having protests and riots, we say, oh, the government is oppressing the people who want to protest, or they want to overthrow the government. And so we get involved. So there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of mystery behind who causes these uprisings and who agitates them further, and et cetera, et cetera. But the message tonight is there is a new plan, supposedly by China, that by 2049, the year 2049, they will be the world dominant superpower. Right now, America would still be considered the dominant superpower, the United States of America. And its allies, of course, are in the mix. One of the major reasons is population. The three countries that have the biggest population are China, number one, with 1.4 billion, India, number two, with 1.3 billion, and America with just over about 350 million or so. So, with birth rates declining globally, and America not being in the top birth rates right now, we're like a third the size of China and India. By pure numbers, they have the edge, okay? But innovation and allies. This is why you want to get along with other countries, why you want the UN, why you pay money to other countries, is because you need a united coalition. You can't just isolate yourself, because then you're really defeated. K. Smith, thank God for Sloppy Joe getting us out of Afghanistan. Well, like I say, George Bush got us into Afghanistan. Why? Well, they said because of a 9/11. But then take it a step further. How did Afghanistan become a breathing ground for terrorism? Well, America backed bin Laden and the Afghan forces decades ago when they fought against the Soviet Union. Look it up. So America put money and put resources backing bin Laden, backing the groups in that region to beat off the Soviet Union. So we had an interest there. And then when they kind of beat off the Soviet Union, we left them. And then it became, another breathing ground again. America actually put Saddam Hussein in power. America actually built up the Chinese civilization to a certain extent, because just a few decades ago, they were a third world country. So you say, why even get involved in other countries? Just don't get involved. Well, because when you don't get involved, we learn the lesson in World War II, when we allowed Hitler to grow bigger and bigger because we didn't get involved. And Hitler rose because of World War I. After World War I, Germany was destitute, and we said it's not our business. And when a land is destitute, there'll be a radical leader that say, look, I'll create programs to help the masses, but a lot of times they have malicious meaning behind it. So America and all countries have the good and the bad. There's no country that's perfect. And so China being the world dominant force in 2049 may or may not be a good thing. We don't really know. Obviously, there's things we hear in the news that we don't like about China, and I'm sure there's things they hear that they don't like about us. So it's always hard to tell what the truth is. But we know the facts are, population-wise, China's number one, India's number two, United States of America is number three in population. Diplomacy and creating allies, which Trump kind of like chopped away our allies, is actually negative to staying a superpower, because you need, America to be good with Europe, et cetera, because that's how you have more people without having a higher population. So as much as people want to be isolationist, if you're an isolationist in your time of need, you will be screwed. Mary Taz, great to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you. But the Chinese are not your enemy. The Afghanistans are not your enemy. Now, some of the political philosophies behind these powers to be could be. Obviously, I'm very thankful for America. But obviously, I'm not mad at Chinese people. Could I be mad at the Chinese leadership? Well, guys, again, last year I was mad at American leadership. So I don't want to get you can go so crazy into all these things. I just want to share with you, okay, that everything changes, okay, throughout history, human history. Look at thousands of years, not decades, that there's rising and falling of superpower. There doesn't have to be a bad thing all the time. And developed countries become developed by not just living off the land, but by creating an economic structure and also through trade. Look, most of human population in the world is concentrated on the coast, because on the coastal lines or by bodies of water, that is where boats and commerce, goods and services come into a country. That's why most wars are fought because of geographical locations of countries. And the geographical locations have a key meaning either for trade or for defense. And so every war is usually based on securing land for geographic location. Like I say, in the 80s, when Ronald Reagan gave guns to Iran and got money so he can fund an illegal war in Nicaragua, It was because he wanted to try to defeat the Soviet Union because they were coming closer to the border. So there's a lot of things that go on geographically, politically, things we don't even know that I don't know, that change power structures. Why do the powers to be do this? I don't know, but I will say this. In 2021, America is better than it was in 1921. The world is. But there's still parts of the world that are suffering greatly. In 1821, forget it. And the reason behind this is because global trade. That's why we're in a better place. That's why, as much as people complain, people will always complain. But they're sitting there watching this broadcast or watching any broadcast they want. And they probably threw out food to eat. They probably can drive anywhere they want, do just about anything they want. And most times, not all the time, most times in a modern society, most of your problems will be tied to your decisions, not to a global superpower dominant. If you look at your life, your friend's life, and your family life, most of the problems are not because of China or the U.S. government, they're because of your decisions. They're because of how you choose to live. Now, some people choose to live by thinking about 2049 their entire life, by debating politics, and I'm not saying you shouldn't get involved. You should get involved. But I'm saying you should also live your life, okay, because you create your problems, you create your solutions to a certain extent. Societies and governments have a role to play. But I want to share with you tonight, how dominant are you over your own decisions, over your own life, over what you did today, over how you act and what you do? That, in a summary, is the general things I wanted to share on my structure topic. I always try to do that under 15 minutes. Leave a comment below. Thank you again, K. Smith. Thank you again, Mary Toss. Click that thumbs up. Share this video with everyone you know, okay, in every part of the world. And remember that your life, okay, is something that is individual. It's tough to share your life with people because some people are delusional. Some people are hurting so much they deflect their life onto other topics. I try to talk about other topics, but most of my day is not based on anything else other than what I need to do to keep myself in a healthy place, to be productive, to be responsible, to have fun, and to do whatever I can to make the most of my time. Guys, in 2049, I will be 69. Some of you will be dead. Some of you just having kids, they'll be born. And so look, will your kids be working for China? I don't know. I don't have kids. Will your kids be going to war with China? I don't know. I hope that we learn our lesson that rich people don't fight wars, middle class and lower class people do. That's been my experience in life. And what I can tell you is that let's stay positive, and let's go to all members' comments if there's any. If there's not, I won't stretch this out. Why? Because it's just not what I do. This thumbnail's popping, man. I'm looking good in this thumbnail. Yeah, a lot of chicks like the black and white filter because it just it corrects their skin that's not too in good a shape. I saw a beautiful girl today at the gym, very muscular. I miss my Mexican girl. I've been switching gyms. I'll see her maybe next week. Timothy, what's up, brother? China will own us one day, and I hope I'm wrong. Well, is it okay for America to own other countries? It's like America has a little bit of an arrogance. I mean, is it all right for us to dominate other countries? We have to learn to get along with everyone and to try to make it work. That's why we pay politicians, okay? And your decisions to eat food today, your decision to exercise, your decision to go to work has nothing to do with China. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong that you ate healthy today because that was your decision. I want to lovingly, not hurtingly, always challenge people to understand this, but to understand, for the most part, you own your life. Okay. Whether we're in 2049, 1949, there's different issues in different time periods. I don't know what the future will bring. Eventually, a natural calamity, an asteroid, maybe there will be a climate issue, will bring humanity together because they'll need it for survival. In a third world country, the reason people have so many kids is for survival, because you need a lot of kids and hopefully some of them take care of you. In a modern society of Social Security, Medicaid, government assistance, etc. Again, 100 plus years ago, America did the same thing. You had a bunch of kids because they take care of you. It wasn't this magical thing. It was survival. And so nothing brings people together like no other choice. Okay. And when does a war stop? When people are so tired of the suffering. When does your health get better? When you go into the emergency room and you're tired of the suffering. That's when I changed. But I know some people that smoke cigarettes even after going into a major cardiac arrest and having a lung taken out. So some people will keep wanting to go to war even after they have so much loss. Some people, they wake up after they go through pain and they say, you know what? We should be encouraging and pushing our leaders to figure out solutions. Okay, because that's why, and that's our only hope for humanity. Okay. And we should be figuring out solutions in our own life every day, because tomorrow's not guaranteed, but today is, because you're here today. What you decide to eat today is up to you. What time you go to bed today is up to you. Who are your friends? What are your goals? That's up to you. I want everyone to own their life. Okay. And I love you, Timothy. I love everyone. Mary Taz, I ate healthy today, even though I didn't want to. There you go. Discipline. 2 dog walks. There you go. Keep your blood flowing. So far, I've had a rough couple days dealing with my life. I have empathy. Like I said, guys, I talk to my mom every day, and she's only in her 70s, but she's obese. She's got diabetes. She still does side work, and she still tries to get up, but she's in the bed a lot of the day. And she eats healthy almost every day. Unhealthy. And I don't judge her. I don't want to fight with my mom. I don't want to fight with anyone. Like I said, guys, I have a different mindset when I do these videos versus in real life. In real life, I've come to a point where I really don't try to change anyone. I don't try to bother anyone. I stay to myself. If I connect with people on a positive level, it's awesome. In these videos, I'm sharing an intense mindset. Sometimes I'm talking about an issue that may be political, may be about living below your means. It may just be about thoughts. And I'm sharing with intensity because, again, we're together for an hour or whatever out of the day. And I have to drive home the message. Because, again, it's like, why do you get intense? You get intense so when you're faced with taking a nap versus going for a walk, you have to push. And at least I do. So, and that's what I've seen. But again, guys, if you guys lay in your bed and you do it, I'm not mad at anyone. But I talked to my mom today, and this is what she said. She goes, Sam, be careful. The coronavirus is growing, and I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. And because she was laying in bed all day watching TV. Now, some of these are real concerns. Like I said, I do see some issues here in Florida. But a lot of it is just because, at least how she was speaking is like, look, if you stay laid up, eating unhealthy, and watching news or just thinking about or having people in your life that are very negative, like that's why I got away from my father too. He wanted to talk about the same political shit every time I would see him. And I would say, look, I mean, what do you want? For me, again, like, guys, I share this stuff in my videos or whatever from time to time. And I'll share with someone in real life from time to time. But I'm not, guys, I got other stuff going on in my life. What I found is it's a easier distraction to think about China being the world dominant superpower and for us getting upset than for us to not be distracted wake up early, go to the gym, and be productive in society so that you help society. You know, it's like, guys, how do you help society? Well, it's not just joining the army, and shout out to everyone I know in the service, love and respect, but it's being a positive, productive person, okay? That's it. And a healthy person. You're less of a burden on... Guys, why is the pandemic an issue to society? Well, mainly because if an uncontrollable amount of people got admitted to the hospital, you overrun the healthcare system. And America was obese. We were already in an epidemic before the pandemic. Obesity is an epidemic in America. In a first world country where people have so much to eat and they have the freedom to eat as much as they want, they can't control themselves. In third world countries, it's not that big of a problem. America shows that when you have so much freedom and so much to eat, you get lazy, sit on your ass. And that's no other problem than our own. I've been obese, family members that are obese. And I know it's not easy. It's a little bit of a mental issue. Some of it is a DNA. I have met people that they have DNA issues. And so, I was listening also, though, to someone who, I was listening to an interview with someone who was brought up in North Korea. North Korea is right on the border of China. North Korea is a very small country. And they have no real strength in military. The only reason America is interested in them is because they're on the border of China. And China backs them because they don't want American influence on their border. Every war is based on geographical locations and wanting to control those locations. Okay. So I was listening to someone who was brought up in North Korea, and she was saying starvation in that country is very common. And she had seen one time someone was so frail that their intestines were like poking out their side. And I mean, I empathize a very little bit because there was a period in my life where I was close to anorexia. And, being that frail is an interesting thing. I remember at times my neck would tremble because I had so few calories for that day. And I remember someone said to me, Sam, someone that works at Sam, your neck's trembling. And so, but I'm glad that I was able to discipline myself to get to that level. I'm also glad that I've been obese. I'm also glad that I've balanced it out because I could share with you what it feels like to a certain degree, whether starvation or whether total gluttony. K. Smith, $2 super chat. And Zach, I see you. Keith Smith says, thoughts on Kevin Samuels. Also, summer almost over. Thank you. We'll get to that 1 minute. I just want to acknowledge Zach. Zach, hey, brother. What's up? I hope all's well. Zach, great to see you. I appreciate you, Zach. Thank you. And thank you, K. Smith. Kevin Samuels, I believe he's the guy that talks about what high value men, low value women, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Kevin Samuels is a guy who basically gives dating advice. So he basically says a fat chick that wants to date an in-shape guy that's got a lot of money, she's a low-value person trying to date a high-value man. And same thing with a man. If a man is unemployed, if he's not taking care of himself, and he's trying to date a successful woman, it's a low-value man trying to date a high-value woman. So it's a matter of, bottom line is being evenly yoked. He says it in an outlandish way, which could be hurtful, but I understand his thing. But the bottom line is truth. Like I say, guys, at a very basic level, I had a nice lady, I think, this winter during the pandemic on my channel, and she said, I can't wait for the mask mandate to be lifted because I want to see men's face because I want to date again. And she went on to say that she was out of shape because I asked her, well, how are you looking? She goes, well, I'm a little out of shape. I'm fat. I'm this, I'm that. I said, well, how can you be out of shape, not taking care of yourself, and you want to date and you want to judge other people by how they look? Men and women judge by looks. Okay. Everyone does. Okay. So Kevin Samuels is right. Look, I say, stay single, masturbate, and don't have kids. What should you do? Whatever you want. That's the message I preach. But I know, look, birth rates are lower no matter what, because in advanced societies, you don't have a bunch of kids to survive. Immigrants did, and which my grandparents did, and other people, poor people do. It's for survival. But they say even in China, if China takes over world dominance, they estimate that they will go from 1.4 billion to 1 billion people by 2100, because their birth rates will slow. Already now, they have more males than females, because when they had the one-child rule, years ago, China had a law, that you can only have one child per household, because they had too much of a population and they didn't have enough food and enough opportunity for the amount of people. So they had to cut down the population. So what would happen was the families would tend to keep the male child and not want a female. But now you got all these males and you don't have enough females, and now they can't, So, look, my thoughts on Kevin Samuels are, as I stated, I think he's a level of entertainment, a level of truth. And I think dating is a disaster no matter what. I think there's some good relationships. I think you should experience love. I have, and I'm grateful for it. But look, guys, I've also been spared where I didn't have kids too young. And I'm fortunate. I know some people, though, they can't be single. They cannot be by themselves too long. They don't know what to do with themselves. So I cannot tell everyone what to do or how to live. Like I say, guys, I want to always encourage people to just work on yourself, and whatever you want to do after that, do. You want to debate politics? Do it. You want to have 5 kids? That's your choice. My goal is to bring up subjects, but the underlying message, the foundation is always self-care. I don't want you to focus on China. I want you to focus on you. Now, after you do what you need to do for you, if you're passionate about politics, I want you to get involved. If you're passionate about daycare and you want to have kids or have daycare, then get involved, but take care of you first. Out of self-care comes abundance. Okay? So now, what do I think about summer almost being over? I think survive till September. The heat will dissipate. The housing market will have more inventory, and the fall weather and the back to school and the normalcy that it will create a year after the height of the pandemic, I believe will be positive for society. Because even DeSantis said it today. I heard him. Okay. And again, DeSantis got the vaccine, so did Trump. DeSantis said, look, it's everyone's choice, but 90% of people in the hospital due to COVID are people who don't have the vaccine. 90% is what DeSantis said. Okay. So now what they're doing in Florida is they're having the pharmaceutical companies create the antibodies that they gave Trump when Trump went into the hospital for having COVID. What DeSantis is doing now, because of 90% of the people in the hospital due to COVID are not vaccinated, they're going to give them the antibodies that Trump got because they didn't get the vaccine. Okay. So, that's kind of what your body creates when you get the vaccine. So, again, you can still get COVID no matter what, vaxxed or not, but your chances of going to the hospital if you don't have the vaccine are 90% greater. Okay, just about. So, I think no matter what, there will be a level of normalcy as we get into the fall. Now, as we get into the fall, I think Florida COVID will level out, because this time of year, Florida gets a lot of COVID because a lot of people are indoor due to the air conditioning. And we have the science to show that when you're indoors with a group of people, the air circulating creates a higher percentage chance that you will get COVID. Okay, that's why the rates right now are higher in the southern states, partly. And so in the winter, it reverses, because in the winter, most people up north, are in the shared environments with the circulated air. And this is why, too, they're worried a little bit about the school system, etc. But again, it was said in the beginning of the pandemic, 80 to 90% of society is going to get COVID. But now with the vaccines and with the mitigation, they're trying to prevent the hospitals from becoming overwhelmed. Because if you get sick, but you don't have to go to the hospital, you don't overwhelm the healthcare system. That's the whole point. That was the whole point. And 90% of people right now, at least in Florida, that are in the hospital are because they don't have vaccine. So now they're going to get these antibodies pumped into them. So I don't know the future, but I have hope. And my message is consistent. Survive till September. Okay. Enjoy each day. Manage your time. Don't take a nap. Show up. And whether you're Chinese, Irish, Italian, black, white, Spanish, Asian, doesn't matter. We're all human. Okay. Break down the barriers of ignorance and dominate your life. Okay. Because it doesn't matter what country, to some extent, is dominating if you're not dominating your own life. Okay. I don't want you to control your boyfriend. Okay. I want you to control yourself. I'll tell you right now, guys, it's a red flag. It's like almost the color of the Chinese flag. It's a red flag when I see someone dating someone and one person is controlling the other. That's dominance. See, you should dominate yourself, not other people. My mom, still alive, but she wrote something in her last will and testament. Last will testament. That, children, I love you. I'll always be with you, even when I pass. And she said, I leave with you one thing, one saying. Don't let anyone control you. And I know everyone takes that like, yeah, that's why I don't let the government control me. That's why I don't let. But the truth is, in their own life, there's a lot of control and manipulation. They stay in relationships for an inheritance. They date people because they're more powerful than the other person. See, you don't like China, but in the relationship, you're China. You're dominating trade. You're dominating that weak person because you don't want to be cheated on. You want to be the dominant person. I've seen this with people. I have. I even knew this one guy. This guy was a good-looking guy, buff guy. And he was giving the sausage to all these chicks. And I asked him, I said, man, you going to settle down? I said, when you settle down, what type of girl are you going to settle down with? He goes, Sam, well, I got to be the dominant person. So I want to be the stronger person in a relationship. And I've met some girls. They date a guy. It's like Joe Biden. Okay. I mean, the guy's like, just sloshing around. Okay. So, I don't know, man. For me, I will say this. If you're going to be in a relationship, it's got to be healthy. It can't be based on dominance. And if you are a dominant person, to me, stay single. Dominate yourself. See, a lot of dominant people can dominate themselves. They can't be alone. I don't know. But these are my opinions, guys. Everyone do what they want. Again, guys, I'm a loner. I like meeting some positive people in Starbucks and throughout my dealings. I've met some people. I appreciate them. I love them. I worry a little bit about buying property. How connected to the community will I be? At a certain point, I'll probably bite the bullet because if I'm going to die, I kind of like, I'm Florida or bust. I always want to go maybe up north, definitely when my mom's alive, see my mom, to experience some of the fall weather, get a little variety. In September and October, survive till September. In September, we head up north for a few weeks at least. We come back down. Shout out to my man Tony. Shout out to everyone in Canada. And that's my plan. Take another hydration break, guys. Leave a comment. Click that thumbs up. Thank you again, Timothy. Thank you, Mary Taz. Thank you, Keith Smith. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate everyone in here. I have gratitude in my heart. 61 people watching. 28 thumbs up. I've been on here for 34 minutes. I'm sweating. It was about 100 degrees today with the heat index in Florida, but it was a cool ocean breeze. There was a little rainstorms. I'm glad I'm in Florida versus up north still. September and October is when you want to be up north, if you go. And that's it. Those are the two best months. Everyone's back to school. There's no summer crowds. It's nice fall weather. But if you're going to live anywhere, if you can't be nomadic, you live in Florida full time. That's my opinion. Okay. I love Florida. Shout out to all my Floridians. Shout out to wherever you live. Remember, guys, if you don't like Florida, you should be happy that I do, because that means more whatever you like for you. If you like Indiana, that's more Indiana for you. If you like California, that's more California for you. If you like China, that's more China for you. Why would you be mad at someone who loves Florida only if you hate Florida? And you only hate Florida probably because you couldn't hack it here. So you went to some poor part of the country where you can survive on dirt cheap housing in the middle of nowhere. Okay. And it's like a disaster. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Charles, what's up, brother? Shout out to Tampa. What's up, Sam? I'm loving Florida. You're damn right. Weekends are now for staycations. When you live in Florida, you live in one of the most visited states for tourism in the entire country. Everyone wants to come to Florida. Okay. And guys, you're so fortunate if you live in Florida. You're surrounded by beaches. You're surrounded by beautiful women. You got no state income tax. All year round good weather. Okay. Overall, it's a very diverse state, very big state. You can go to farmland, country land. You can go to the beach. There's conservative areas. There's liberal areas. There's a good blend. Florida's a great state. It has everything you want. And that's why I say, look, it's a great state. But again, if you love a different state, that's awesome. Okay. But there was this movie called Marley and Me. I would never watch it again because I cried like a baby because the dog died at the end. Marley and Me was about this movie about a guy who grew up in Florida. He worked for a newspaper, and he had this dog in his family. And he loved Florida. He loved everything. He was doing good with his job, but he kind of like reached a plateau in his job and in his life. He had a couple of kids. He had a dog. He was doing he's at the top level at his newspaper. And he had basically had a midlife crisis. He goes, man, I don't know, something's not right. And his boss said, well, go on vacation, get your head together. He goes, where am I going to go on vacation? Everyone comes to Florida to go on vacation. I'm at the beach every day. And so this guy, he thought what he needed to do was to move to Pennsylvania. So he took his family, he uprooted to Florida, he went to Pennsylvania. His dog died. He experienced a horrible winter. And I learned from that movie, Marley and Me, never leave Florida. Because if you go back to Pennsylvania or New Jersey or wherever you're from to be close to your family, you're going to bury your dog in the dead of the winter. And you're going to be pissed that you see me in South Florida banging all these chicks, making all this money with no state income tax. Okay. And you got to watch from your spare bedroom that your spouse put you in because you haven't had sex in a long time. Okay. You haven't sweated in a long time. You had a sloppy Joe this week. If you live in a state where they serve sloppy Joes, slap the shit out of yourself. Okay. Get the hell out of that shared apartment. Okay, I know a lot of people talking about, after the vaccine, I'm going to be traveling. They've been stuck in their shared apartment all summer long. I should be a critic because I'd be a good critic. I say, let's see the update from the shared apartment today. What'd they do today? I should be a critic, but I'm not a critic. I'm an encourager. Keep it up, Bree. What's up? Keep it up, Bree. Love you so much, Sam. I love you too. On my way to secure the bag, 4 bag emojis. Shout out to all my nurses. Shout out to everyone working in the hospital, whether you're a security guard, janitor, maintenance tech, administrative clerk. The medical industry is a great industry. Okay. Shout out to all my first responders. Okay. Ambulance drivers, firefighters. There's some firefighters watching me right now cooking with a beer gut. Okay. Firefighters have some of the highest rates of heart attacks. Why? Because they eat a lot of food, a lot of downtime. They save lives when there's an emergency. Thank God for firefighters. But they have a lot of downtime. There's a lot of cooking, and there's a lot of lethargicness. Got to keep it moving. Keep your blood flowing. Okay. So Keeping up with Bree. The internet wants you. They want to see your Instagram. They want to see your cooch. Okay. I see these chicks now, they're raping TikTok. Okay, they're doing a little dance. Do, 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 do. Ain't talking about nothing. Guys, I may do TikTok, but I'm not going to do TikTok. YouTube is the only social media I have. Okay. I have a couple, a burner Instagram. But someone left a comment today, oh, I can't wait till YouTube dies, because they don't have any self-control to walk away from YouTube. They're mentally ill. That's why that one guy killed all those Asian massage people in Atlanta a couple months ago. Because he was mentally disturbed. He was addicted to sex. He couldn't just say no to not go to massage parlors. He had to kill, God forbid, it's a horrible thing, kill these ladies. It's like there's some people, they're addicted to the internet. They have such low self-control. They want the internet to go away so it avoids them having to walk away from the internet. There's some people, guys, they refuse to work on their life. They want society to collapse because they just refuse to do anything. Hey, guys, look, okay, don't give me this. Okay. I know life could be a ball buster. What do you want me to do? I didn't create the world. But guys, okay, I understand there's a lot of mental pain out there. I do. I'm not saying that jokingly. I totally get it. But guys, I'm not going to make life worse by just going back and forth. So yeah, let's go crazy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay. I understand there's a lot of pain. I understand a lot of people are brought up in a different circumstance, and based on how they were brought up, they have a certain philosophy. But guys, again, I was brought up in a household of 3 siblings. I'm the only one that works and the only one not going wild. And my siblings been a blessing to me. It's no disrespect. But I also want to tell you guys, it's a lot more than your family and how you're brought up. Because you could be brought up in the same family, same culture, same school system, and you make the choice to a certain extent. I mean, some of it's God. I don't know why certain people are wired a certain way. Okay. But I also don't want to hear a lot of shit. Okay. Because I'm doing the best I can to get through life as best I can. Okay. I don't, if you're not putting any effort into it, it's like, and I always question. A lot of people tell me like they got this disability or something's wrong, they can't do this, and they fucking write this like 5-paragraph comment, well articulated, and I say, come on, you don't have any talent? Look at the way you fucking write. Okay, you know how to create profiles online, but you don't know how to do anything. Now I ain't buying that shit, man. Charles, sometimes I tend to buy more stuff rather than focusing on self-care. Well, there you go. Self-awareness is accountability. Now here you go. He goes, and constructive hobbies. Buying more eBay is a dirty high. Yeah, it's an addiction. That's why eBay was structured like that, an auction sale, because an auction creates an emotional response that you just want to win, competition. So it is true, like social media and things online are structured. They're engineered to set off sensors in your mind to get you to buy and to consume. But again, that's freedom, right? So you have to be aware of that and then discipline yourself. So it's like people say like they're mad at these companies for creating things that tempt them, but then they're saying they want the freedom to decide. Well, that means you have to have discipline, okay? Because if not, then we gotta have Father Joe Biden, okay? We gotta have Father. I am Joe Biden. Have you been to your local CVS? Have you gotten the vaccine? DeSantis said 90% of those in the hospital are people who don't have the vaccine. Have you been shopping at eBay instead of getting the vaccine? Children, this is your father, Joe Biden. Be good to your father. I won't be with you forever. Kamala Harris will be with you when I'm gone. Children, are you listening to me? This is Joe Biden. China 49 will be the dominant force. We tried a trade war under a certain regime, but we lost. Trade deficit's never been bigger. And we have to realize that during the lockdowns, a lot of lifestyles were exposed. Even if you had a healthy lifestyle, the lockdowns and the mitigation was not easy, guys. Now, I don't care who you are. And I don't believe that society is meant to function like that for a long period of time. I mean, in extreme circumstance, I can understand a little bit, but not for a long period of time. So, but I always question, man, like, I saw a lot of people say to themselves, I'm not in the right relationship. I'm not doing the right things with my life. And after this pandemic, or when the lockdowns are over, I'm going to change. And you know what I see now, as we're kind of like getting to that point, is all people did was renovate their house, force themselves on vacations in crowded areas this summer. And in September, they're going right back to the same place they started, pre-pandemic. We're going back to pre-pandemic levels, where you live the same life you lived before the pandemic. Now, if you lived an inspiring life, then that's awesome. And you get to define what's inspiring to you, not me. We all get to define our own life. We all get to choose. Do you want to do eBay? And I've been addicted to things, guys. I've been addicted to food. I've been addicted to day trading at times. So I have no judgment. Okay. And like I say, if you're addicted, step away from something for a period of time. And even if you're addicted to something you can't beat, I still love you. I love my mom. I love people I know that are addicted to things. I have boundaries. I have boundaries. I have boundaries. But guys, I create my own space. Do I like everything I see in the world? No, but I mentally crossed that. I got over that mental hurdle of trying to figure out the world and trying to make everything right. That is a hopeless, unproductive mindset. Work on yourself. After you do that, be productive at the minimum, because that helps society and humanity. And then focus on what your goals are, what your gifts are. And that's, again, a gift to society. Elon Musk is not meant to be a president, but he's meant to be an electric car creator. He had the government to help him. Now he has capitalist system to help him. Elon Musk sells cars in China too. You know that, right? Guys, if we go to Mars, that's a whole nother planet. What if we colonize Mars the way we colonized America? Guys, America in 1776 was a country inhabited by the Native Americans. Christopher Columbus was Elon Musk. He got in a ship. At that time, it was unheard of to cross the sea. He crossed the sea, he founded America. And so did the Spanish. It was the Europeans and the Spanish, and back and forth. And eventually they decided, well, we want America for trade. Okay. We want to colonize it, develop it. Okay. We want to be the dominant superpower. Okay. So in 2049, China wants to be the dominant superpower. In 1776, Europe wanted to be the dominant superpower. Okay. And that's why they came and they explored new lands. Guys, this is part of life. Read human history. Okay. And at the end of the day, all we can focus on is the present and building the best future we can. We can't go backwards. We can look backwards. We can't go backwards. And world dominance, guys, there's not much. You have some control, not much. But really, it all starts with self-dominance, self-control. There's a scripture that says self-control leads to godliness. Okay. If you can't control yourself, don't worry about a government. Okay. None of us are perfect. We all need the grace of God. None of us. And we also need the freedom to not even believe in God. We need free will. Okay. We need some structure in society, right? Some rules, regulations. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm a homeless guy in a gas station in my 5-year-old car that has 200,000 miles on it. I could buy a home at any time, but I'm single with no pets, no kids. I don't, I'll buy it and probably I'll just be, eventually I'm going to buy something because it's Florida or bust. So, but guys, I'm not that, look, I get my inspiration through just getting through the day, guys. I don't have any, like I say, guys, for me, as a 41-year-old man, I'm not like naively hopeful, but I keep the faith, I keep the hope, and I just do the best I can. General Disarray, that's an interesting name. $2.99 super chat. Nostradamus said 2020, 2021. Excuse me, guys. The cops just came in the all-night gas station. They didn't pull over me, pull over someone else. General Disarray said, Nostradamus said 2020, 2021, misery peaks November. Yeah, no, I know that Nas had an album called Nostradamus. I know there was also a book by some lady who said 2020 the world would die from a airborne virus. No one knows the future, including Jesus, including Nostradamus. So instead of, shout out to you, Jack, I'm going to get to you in a minute. General Disarray. I always say that a tag name says a lot about a mindset. Now, my tag name is Inspirational Nomad. Like I share with you, I'm not like naively inspired. But I'm also not going to just give into disarray. General Disarray says that you have an overall negative mind. It's easier to be negative than positive. Like, at the height of the pandemic, you probably said, we're going to go in a civil war, the economy is going to collapse, everything's going to collapse. Now, stock market's all-time high, real estate's high, we didn't have civil war. We're back to peace. So even though I empathize with how easy it is to be negative and there may be a lot of negativity, Joe Biden has brought us together. We have the vaccine. Have you gotten vaccinated? 90% of hospitalization is based on those who are not vaccinated. And so, look, life and humanity is a disaster. However, humanity has made steps, and we're better now in 2021 than we were in 1921. I think about, thank you again, Jack. I'm setting the captives free. I think about what would everyone say today in 2021? What would they have said in 1921 when millions of people died from the Spanish flu? The economy was totally a disaster. There was not infrastructure. There was not opportunities. There wasn't DoorDash. There wasn't internet. There was telegrams. There wasn't even telephones in 1921. We are living in a great time. In November 2021 will be the best of humanity. Now, is that true, guys? Who knows? But I know that right now it's better than it was a year ago. It's better than it was 100 years ago. You have to change your tag name from General Disarray to General Joyride. It sounds crazy, but either that or Dollar General. Okay? Because, guys, General Disarray is destroying your mental health. Because every day you wake up and you think the worst, you act the worst, and you end up in the same spot in general disarray. What you've been doing hasn't been working. You have to reverse engineer your life. If you're depressed, if you're unproductive, and if everything you feel in your mind is negative, do everything opposite, like the episode of Seinfeld. When George Costanza said, I'm tired of all these failed relationships. I'm going to do everything backwards. So now, General Disarray, everything you do is going to be based on hope. Instead of taking a nap, you're going to go for a walk. Instead of not working, you're going to work 2 jobs. Okay? Your life is going to get changed right now. Damn it. May the captives be free. General Disarray says, my name is just comical. Well, I want to tell you this. The Joker from Batman was just comical. But he was also a psychopath. And the actor who played him committed suicide. There is nothing funny about General Disarray. Okay? So I love you and I hope my words help. Jack, Biden will set you free. I want to tell you this right now. The Biden filter, I don't know if you could tell it. There's police lights in the distance. That's this light there getting in my head. There's cops in the all-night gas station. They pulled someone over. Okay. There's never a dull moment in the all-night gas station. Okay. There's never a dull moment online. Because you're trying to set people free and they want to go right back to captivity. You're trying to tell someone to stay positive. They want to tell you to go fuck themselves. Guys, all I can do is I'm not responsible. I can only do what I can do. Everyone should do whatever they want. I appreciate you, General Disarray. I appreciate you, Jack. I appreciate everyone. But I want to tell you, I don't befriend everyone. Because if you befriend someone who's too negative, guys, you're already like struggling to get through the day. You want someone who doesn't even want to get through the day? Nah. If you're already in a bad place, do you need someone else in a bad place? No. Self-care. There's nothing funny. I love you, General Disarray. There's nothing funny about self-induced negativity. Because, guys, life hard enough. I empathize, guys. I know there's a lot of mental pain, a lot of physical, financial pain. I empathize. I can only do what I can do, though. And so I'm grateful I showed up tonight. I'm grateful for every member. I'm grateful for every super chat. Thank you again. I don't take it for granted. I don't know if I'll be with you forever. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe in 2049, I'll be 69 if I'm still alive. Right now, I'm 41. Okay. I'm a different man than I was at 21. Okay. I'll be a different man at 61 if I'm still alive. You take life one day at a time. You do the best you can. You separate from toxic people, from toxic behavior. You take accountability for your life. You don't blame China. You don't blame America. Take accountability, work on your life. T, 99-cent super chat. Shout out to you, T. Shout out to the Dollar General, the General Dollar. Love to you, T. I appreciate that show of gratitude. I don't take it for granted. Thank you, T. Thank you, General Disarray. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Keep It Up a Breed. Thank you, Keith Smith. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mary Taz. Thank you, Timothy. Gratitude. Keep pushing forward as best you can. That's the message tonight. Thank you.